Alright, it's day 82 of this habanero pepper growing experiment, and as you can see, the foliage on the top is really robust and healthy. Those leaves are huge. I'm going to measure them in a while, and as you can see, the stem is also really thicker at the top where the nutrition was better than at the bottom. As you can see, these bottom leaves no longer serve much function. I mean, they're getting plenty of light as is, but that's because I reconfigured the lights. I have two lights now. And the other plant is really lacking. The stem is so thin compared to the thick stem of, the alpha plant. Basically, I'll call that the beta. And I'm going to have to make a really tough decision as to whether or not I should get rid of that. So actually I just noticed there's a shed leaf here. But anyway, yeah, it's kind of top heavy looking. I've had a lot of fun with my honeydew and charonte melon vines. But there's a certain annoyance to vines or other plants that can't support themselves. This will be somewhat of a shrubby little bush that's very leafy, and I'm really looking forward to that. So the leaf tip here is curled up for whatever odd reason. Growth wasn't perfectly symmetrical, but that's well in excess of 5 inches. In length, 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters, so this one actually is about 6 inches long, or slightly over 15 centimeters. That's very big. I think this is about as big as I've seen leaves get, although on the internet when I'm searching, that one's even bigger. So maybe it's like 16 centimeters or more. So these are really big leaves. They dwarf anything I've seen in supermarkets or online, really. And as I mentioned before, this leaf just shed off. They have a very neat way of shedding off. It just perfectly desiccates and falls off at that point. There's nothing you need to do. It's not like cucumis melovines where I'm constantly trimming stuff and throwing it away. So now I'm just rotating this with my toes, comparing the alpha and the beta plants. As you can see, the alpha is roughly 3 to 4 times as big, depending on how you look at it, in many variables. But it's just been Miracle Gro, and the top has recovered. So I'm gonna cut this beta plant. I've decided there's too much competition for just this little pot based on how big these monster leaves for the alpha are getting, and they might get even bigger. The bush might branch out, and the smaller bush will just have no sun. So as you can see there, as I did that, just that tiny bit of movement caused another old leaf to fall out. And as you can see, this is like 10 or 20 minutes later, you have this water pressure, sap pressure coming up from the root system.